At 72, Robert had made peace with the idea that intimacy was behind him, not because he didn't love his wife, not because he didn't want to feel close again, but because somewhere between the doctor visits, the grey hairs and the quiet dinners, he stopped believing his body could still respond. He still remembered the last time he reached for her and the quiet hesitation in her eyes. It wasn't rejection, it was fear. Fear that he would feel ashamed again. Fear that they'd both be reminded of what age had taken away. So he stopped trying. But one night, scrolling through his phone alone in the dark, he saw a message that caught his eye. Your touch still matters, you just haven't been taught how to use it anymore. It didn't promise pills, it didn't sell false hope. It whispered something far more powerful, that he wasn't broken, that maybe, just maybe, there was still a way back. Robert tried something he never expected to, a simple massage, not for stress, but to reconnect with his body, his confidence, his identity as a man. And within days, something shifted. Not just under his skin, but in the way he walked, the way he spoke, the way he looked into his wife's eyes again. Because this isn't just about sex. It's about reclaiming the part of yourself you thought was gone forever. So, if you're watching this and wondering, is it too late for me? Let me answer with everything I've got. No, it's not. Because what I'm about to show you isn't a miracle cure. It's something more powerful. It's a way to feel seen, touched, and alive again, starting with your own hands. Are you ready? John had always been a man of presence. At 68, he still carried himself with quiet strength, the kind that comes from years of raising a family, building a life, and holding things together even when they quietly fell apart. But lately, something inside him had shifted. It wasn't just his body, although he did notice it. The slower mornings, the way he avoided mirrors, the fear of reaching out and being reminded of what no longer worked like it used to. No, the true change was inside, a soft, persistent question echoing louder each night. Am I still a man if I can't touch her like I used to? His wife, Eleanor, had noticed it too. The distance in his eyes, the way he pulled away from kisses, the way he chose silence over vulnerability. She never blamed him, but that didn't stop the silence from growing like ivy between them. Slow, creeping, until even their goodnight hugs felt like rehearsed gestures. Then came the moment that cracked something open. It was a Tuesday night. Eleanor had gone to bed early. John sat on the edge of the guest bed, scrolling without purpose. And then, a video thumbnail. Massage for men over 60, not about pleasure, but power. He hesitated. It felt ridiculous, embarrassing even, but also honest. It was the first thing in weeks that didn't make him feel like he was fading. He clicked. What he heard was simple, gentle, and deeply unfamiliar, not in technique, but in tone. The voice in the video didn't talk down to him. It didn't offer a miracle. It simply said, your body has changed, but it hasn't betrayed you. It's just waiting for you to listen again. That night, he tried. He closed the door, dimmed the light, and followed the slow movements he'd learned. Just his hands, breathing, pressing, awakening. And for the first time in months, he didn't feel broken, he felt present. Not all at once, not like flipping a switch, but something inside him stirred, a warmth, a spark. Over the next few nights, John returned to that quiet space, not with desperation, but with curiosity, touching not just his body, but his identity, his worth. One morning, as Eleanor brewed coffee, John gently placed a hand on her back. She turned, surprised, not by the touch itself, but by the way his hand lingered. Firm, warm, alive. She smiled. A real one. And for the first time in a long time, John saw something flicker in her eyes. Not pity, not worry, but something like desire. That moment didn't fix everything, but it opened the door. To touch, to trust, to talk again. Because healing at this age doesn't come from pills or procedures. It starts in the quiet moments you choose to show up for yourself. And John? He chose to show up not just for his wife, but for the man he thought he had lost. You've probably noticed it already. Maybe it's the slower mornings, the way your body doesn't respond like it used to, or how intimacy feels more like a memory than something real. But here's what most people never tell you. This isn't your fault. And you're not alone. After the age of 60, the male body undergoes natural but significant changes. Testosterone levels begin to decline, gradually, affecting everything from energy and muscle mass to libido and emotion. It's not just about desire, it's about identity. You wake up and feel different, not broken, just unfamiliar. And when your body stops reacting the way it once did, when erections become less firm or take longer, when arousal feels delayed or disconnected, it's easy to question yourself. But let's pause here. Because these changes are biological, not personal, they don't mean you're any less of a man. They just mean you need to learn a new language, the language of your body as it is today. Here's what's happening inside. Reduced blood flow. As we age, our arteries lose flexibility. That means blood doesn't move as freely, especially to sensitive areas. Tension in pelvic floor muscles. Many older men unknowingly carry tightness in their lower pelvis, which restricts circulation and dulls sensation. Decreased nerve sensitivity. Over time, the nerve endings responsible for pleasure and response become less responsive. Not dead, just drowsy. Emotional pressure, decades of stress, performance anxiety, or the quiet shame of feeling past your prime create a perfect storm that silences intimacy. But here's the truth most men never hear. Your body is still capable. It just needs attention, not judgment. You see, no one taught us how to age with grace and intimacy. We learned how to push through pain, to man up, but no one showed us how to slow down and listen. And when you don't understand what's happening inside, it's easy to disconnect. Not just from your partner, but from your own sense of worth. That's why awareness is step one. Not pills, not shame. Just the quiet courage to ask, what does my body need now? Because aging doesn't mean the end of desire. It means the beginning of a new relationship with your body, one based on care, curiosity, and compassion. And the best part? You can start this relationship today, not with a doctor, not with a prescription, but with your own hands, and the willingness to try something new. So now you know, your body isn't betraying you, it's evolving. But here's the part that might surprise you most. There's a way to respond to that change that's not only gentle, it's incredibly effective, and it doesn't require a doctor's office, pills, or painful procedures. It just requires your hands and a little understanding of how your body works. Let's talk about male wellness massage, a practice that combines ancient body awareness with modern science, designed specifically for men over 60 who want to reconnect with their strength, sensation, and intimacy. You might think massage is only for stress relief, or that it's something passive, where someone else does the work. But this kind of massage is different. It's intentional, it's educational, and it's about reclaiming what aging has made you doubt, your power to feel. The biology behind the touch. As you get older, circulation slows down, especially in the pelvic region. This is one of the biggest reasons why erections become less firm or take longer to arrive. Male wellness massage focuses on stimulating blood flow to the muscles and tissues that support sexual response. And it does this in ways that work with your biology, not against it. Let's break down the main mechanisms. Vasodilation. Gentle strokes across the lower abdomen and inner thighs activate blood vessels, allowing more blood to flow into the groin. This process, called vasodilation, helps oxygen and nutrients reach erectile tissue more efficiently. Neurological awakening. Over time, the nerves that once responded to a simple touch may become less sensitive. By using soft, repetitive motion, massage can wake up these nerve endings and retrain your brain to recognize pleasure. Fascial release. The fascia, thin layers of connective tissue, tend to tighten with age, especially around the pelvic floor. When these areas are gently stretched and massaged, it improves mobility, reduces pressure on nerves, and enhances sensation. Hormonal balance. Believe it or not, regular bodywork like this can actually help regulate hormones like cortisol and testosterone. Less stress equals better hormonal balance equals improved libido and confidence. What makes this so powerful? Because it's not just about the body, it's about your relationship with your body. Every time you lay your hands on yourself with care, you're telling your nervous system, this body is still mine, and I trust it to feel again. That message, repeated over time, is more powerful than any pill. It dissolves shame, it quiets performance anxiety, and it rebuilds the bridge between who you are and the man you still want to be. What it's not. Let's clear something up. This isn't a magic fix. It's not a sexual technique, and it's not meant to replace genuine medical care when needed. What it is a practice, a ritual, a way to say to yourself, I'm still here, I'm still worthy, I'm not done yet. It's about reclaiming ownership of your pleasure, your energy, and your presence. And once you begin to feel that shift, once the blood flows differently, once the nerves wake up again, once your hand feels like a connection instead of an obligation, you'll realize something deeply liberating. I didn't lose myself. I just stopped listening. Now you're listening again. And that's where healing begins. You've heard the science. You understand what's happening in your body. And maybe, for the first time, you feel a spark of hope. Now it's time to get practical. Because this isn't just about theory. It's about what you can do tonight. With no pills, no machines, and no pressure to perform. Just you, your hands, and the willingness to reconnect. These 3 techniques are simple, natural, and designed specifically for older men. Each one targets a different part of your body's arousal system: blood flow, nerve activation, and muscular tension. And when done regularly, they don't just restore function, they rebuild confidence from the inside out. Let's walk through each technique slowly and clearly. Take your time, and remember, this is not about speed, it's about presence. Technique 1. The rhythmic flow purpose. Stimulates blood circulation to the lower pelvis and groin. How to do it. Sit or lie in a comfortable position, in a warm and quiet space. Rub your hands together until they feel warm. This helps increase energy and sensitivity. Place your hands flat on your lower abdomen, just below your belly button. Inhale deeply through your nose. As you exhale, begin gently stroking downward in long, slow motions toward your groin. Move your hands in a rhythmic pattern, down and slightly inward, using firm but gentle pressure. Do this for 3 to 5 minutes. What it does. This technique promotes vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, helping oxygen-rich blood reach your erectile tissues. Over time, This improves your body's ability to respond to arousal naturally. Bonus tip: try this just after a warm shower when your muscles are relaxed and blood flow is already increased. Technique 2. The sensation ring. Purpose: awakens dormant nerve endings and restores touch sensitivity. How to do it: using your thumb and index finger, form a loose circle, like you're gently holding a soft fruit. Without using any oil, gently slide this ring around the base of the penis. Overclothing is fine at first. Slowly move the circle forward in a steady motion, then back again. Think of this as teaching your skin to remember pleasure, not stimulating for climax, but for connection. Keep your breath steady. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let your breath guide your rhythm. Do this for 2 to 4 minutes. What it does: age can dull our nerve endings, especially those related to intimacy. This technique helps retrain your nervous system to wake up and respond to gentle, consistent touch. You're not forcing sensation, you're inviting it back. Emotional bonus: this technique often stirs forgotten memories, tenderness, desire, or even grief. Let those emotions come. That's healing too. Technique 3. The root awakening. Perineal massage. Purpose: releases pelvic tension, enhances erection control, and supports full body relaxation. How to do it: sit or lie down with your knees bent and feet on the floor, or flat on the bed. Locate the perineum, the soft area between the base of the testicles and the anus. Using 2 or 3 fingers, gently press and make small, circular motions in this area. Apply only the amount of pressure that feels comfortable. This is a sensitive but often neglected part of the male body. Breathe deeply. Focus on softening the area with every exhale. Do this for 3 to 6 minutes. What it does: this is one of the most powerful techniques because the perineum connects directly to the pelvic floor, which plays a key role in erection strength and stamina. When this area is tight, blood flow gets restricted. When it's relaxed, energy moves freely. You may notice a feeling of unblocking, a warmth or tingling that spreads through the pelvis. Emotional benefit: many men carry hidden shame or tension here. By treating this area with kindness and patience, you begin restoring trust in your body. Putting it all together, these techniques are not isolated. They work best as a sequence, performed with intention, like a ritual. Here's a suggested routine. Start with rhythmic flow to bring blood and warmth to the body. Move to sensation ring to awaken touch and attention. End with root awakening to release deep-seated tension and restore connection. You don't have to do them all every time. Even one technique, done with presence, can be transformative. A few gentle reminders: this is not a performance. You're not trying to get hard. You're learning to feel again. Your hands are enough. No tools, no pressure, no one watching. Just you, reclaiming trust in your touch. It's okay to feel awkward. Every new ritual feels strange at first. Give it 7 days. See what changes. Be patient. Healing takes time, especially when we've ignored this part of ourselves for decades. The truth is, most men were never taught how to care for their bodies this way. But now, at this stage in life, you finally have permission to listen deeper. This isn't about returning to who you were, it's about discovering who you still are. Before you begin any of the massage techniques, there's something just as important as touch itself: the space. Because healing isn't just about what you do, it's also about where you do it. Your body responds to environment, to light, to scent, to sound. When you create a safe, soothing space, your nervous system relaxes. And in that state, touch becomes not just effective, but transformative. So how do you create a space that supports healing rather than performance or pressure? Step 1. Choose a quiet, warm location. Find a room where you won't be interrupted. Turn off the phone. Dim the lights. Let this time be for you, without distraction or expectation. Make sure the temperature is comfortable. Cold muscles resist. Warm muscles melt. You're not just setting up a room, you're telling your body, this is safe. Step 2. Use gentle lighting and music. Harsh lighting can trigger tension. Soft golden light, like from a salt lamp or low bedside bulb, creates calm. Add slow instrumental music or nature sounds, waves, rainfall, flutes. Sound bypasses the mind and soothes the body directly. Think of it as setting the mood, not for performance. Step 3. Introduce scent and touch. A few drops of essential oil can change everything. Try ginger for warmth, rosemary for circulation, or lavender for calm. Rub a little onto your hands or chest, just enough to anchor you in the moment. Test on a small patch of skin first to avoid irritation. Use a soft towel or blanket that feels good against your skin. Small details matter. They signal your body that this isn't routine. It's ritual. This space is not just physical, it's emotional. It's where silence becomes comfort, where time slows down, and where you're allowed, finally, to just be. When you care for your space, you begin to care for yourself in ways that go far beyond touch. Let's be honest, what most men miss after 60 isn't just sex, it's connection. The warmth of a shared laugh, the comfort of a hand resting on theirs, the feeling of being wanted, not just physically, but emotionally. And yet, so many older couples fall into silence, not out of anger, but out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, fear that age has closed the door on intimacy for good. But here's the truth. Emotional intimacy doesn't fade with age, it deepens. And male wellness massage isn't just about reawakening your body. It's about rebuilding the emotional bridge between you and your partner. Touch as a language. When words become hard to say, touch speaks for you. One of the most healing aspects of male wellness massage is how it invites presence. It slows things down. It encourages eye contact. It says, I'm still here, I still care, and I still want to feel close to you. And that, for many partners, is more powerful than any performance in the bedroom. Even if you begin this practice on your own, it eventually affects how you show up in your relationship. More grounded, more relaxed, more confident. Because when a man feels safe in his own body, he creates safety for emotional closeness. A story of reconnection. Mark and Teresa had been married for 42 years. After Mark's prostate surgery at 67, intimacy faded. Not just physically, but emotionally. He withdrew, she worried, but neither knew how to bridge the gap. Then Mark learned about these massage techniques. He began quietly, just 10 minutes each evening, alone in their bedroom, relearning how to feel. 2 weeks later, something changed. One night, he reached for Teresa's hand, not with urgency, not with pressure, just a gentle, present touch. And for the first time in months, they sat together in silence. Not the cold kind, but the kind that says, I trust you again. From there, things shifted. They didn't rush. They didn't need to. Because it wasn't about going back, it was about moving forward. Together. Bringing your partner in. You don't need to hide this journey. In fact, inviting your partner into it can deepen your connection in ways words never could. Here's how. Start with honesty. Tell them, I'm exploring a way to feel more connected to my body and to you. Share without shame. Let them know it's not about fixing what's wrong, but about honoring what's still right. Offer shared moments. A warm hand massage, sitting close while breathing together. These small gestures rebuild safety. Touch doesn't always have to lead to sex. Sometimes, the goal is simply to remember that closeness is still possible and deeply needed. The most powerful message you can give your partner isn't, I want to perform, it's, I want to be close to you. Still, because when emotional intimacy returns, so does the physical, naturally, gently, and without pressure. This journey isn't just about your body, it's about your bond, and no matter how long it's been, it's never too late to feel close again. So here you are, not at the end of a lesson, but at the beginning of something far more meaningful, coming home to yourself. If you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered where the man you used to be has gone, if you've ever reached out and hesitated, then let this be your reminder. You're not too late, you're not too far gone, and you are absolutely not alone. This isn't about returning to your younger self. It's about reclaiming your current self with softness, wisdom, and strength. Your hands may have aged, but they still hold the power to connect, to comfort, and to awaken. Whether you try just one massage technique tonight, or simply sit quietly in your sacred space, know that every small step is a powerful act of self-respect. Because intimacy isn't about performance, it's about presence, and healing starts not with a pill, but with a choice. Before you go, if this touched something in you, if it made you feel seen, understood, or even just a little more hopeful, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, tell me what you're exploring, or what you're afraid of. This is a space without judgment, only gentleness. And if you think someone else might need this message, please share it. Let's keep reminding each other that closeness, vitality, and healing are still possible at any age. You don't need to become someone new. You don't need to be who you were at 30. You just need to remember, your body hasn't given up on you. It's waiting for you to come back. And now, you finally can. One breath, one touch, one moment at a time.